I'm using my magnetic lid picker-upper thingy. 4 pounds of dried pinto beans, some canning salt, and lots of spices. Let's get started. 4 tablespoons of chili powder. 4 teaspoons of ground cumin. 4 tablespoons of paprika. 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. 2 teaspoons of black pepper. 2 tablespoons of coriander. 2 tablespoons garlic powder. 2 tablespoons crushed red pepper. If you don't like it spicy, don't add these. 2 tablespoons dried oregano. And give it a good mix. That's a lot of spices. This recipe will make 7 quarts, which would be 14 cans of chili beans. I have my jar sanitizing and I have a video on how I do that. So you can go watch that if you need to know how to sanitize your jars or you just want an easier way. I have 4 pounds of pinto beans dried. I'm gonna dump these in and go rinse them and clean them. Just making sure there's no little pebbles or anything in them. These actually look pretty good. We're ready to can. I need 7 lids. And the way I like to do it, I still use the boil method to make sure they're sanitized. I like to face them together. They're easier to get out. So I'm gonna count out 7 and drop them in boiling water. It's 4, 6, and 7. I also have water boiling to go into my jars with the beans. To each quart jar, you're gonna put 1 teaspoon of canning salt and 2 teaspoons of our spice mixture. Using your canning funnel, you're gonna put in 1 cup of dried beans. Now you're gonna take your boiling water and you're gonna fill the jars with boiling water until I go to that bottom ring, allowing for 1 inch headspace. I place just a metal butter knife in my jar to help with bubbles and to also equalize the boiling water going in the cooling jar. Just gonna dip out my boiling water, have your knife in there to equalize, and pour it in. And then move your knife over to the next one. Continue the process till they're all filled. All my jars are filled. Take a clean, damp paper towel and wipe the rims to make sure they're clean and that the rings will secure tightly while being processed. Our whole goal here is to make sure everything seals. And if there's anything on the lip of the jars, it'll prevent it from sealing. Grabbing a lid out of the boiling water and placing 1 on each jar. Take your rings and screw them on finger tight. Beans have to be pressure canned. And I know we all use different pressure canners. I use just a Presto from Walmart. I don't have anything fancy. So I'm gonna show you how I use mine, but I do know that you may have a different canner. I got my canner out of storage and it's all ready. It comes with that metal thing that the jars sit on. We're gonna fill the canner with 3 quarts of water. Beans have to process for 90 minutes, so we wanna make sure there's plenty of water in your canner. A safe range is about 3 inches for my canner. Your canner may be different, so go by your canner's directions. I got my 3 inches of water in my canner and I'm turning my heat on to almost high. My jars are already hot, so I'm gonna use my jar lifter and just place the jars right in the canner. Can you hear it storming outside? All my jars are in. Put the lid on, seal the canner, and we're gonna wait for this little button right up front to pop up so we know that it's at pressure and ready to start the timer. And we'll also hear a jiggle on the top. There it goes. So now we wait for the jiggle. The jiggle started, so we're gonna turn the heat down to about between medium and low. You just wanna keep that at a steady jiggle. And we're gonna set our timer for 90 minutes. If you're doing pints, you would set your timer for 75 minutes. It's been 90 minutes, the timer's going off, and we're gonna shut off the heat. Now we have to wait for the pin to drop. Once the pin drops, we'll know the pressure's out of the canner and it's safe to open it. Okay, it went down, so we know it's safe to open, but always take the lid off away from your face because there's still gonna be a lot of steam escape. Now take your jar lifter, take them out of the canner and place them on a towel. We just want to watch for them to seal, and you'll start hearing them pop shortly after they come out. See my hard water on the beans? I should have added some vinegar to the water and I totally forgot. So that if you have hard water, add a splash of vinegar to your canner. Just to the water in the canner. And these are gonna need to rest for 24 hours before you move them. So once they seal, let them rest 24 hours and that's it. Here's an up close, ignore the hard water on the jar.